Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben, and today you're gonna see how to change your brake fluid using a Honda Civic 2008 as a little demo model. Beautiful vehicle. 100% synthetic brake fluid, which we're gonna be talking much about in a second. But first, let's get the old stuff out of there. To start sucking, all we're doing is getting all that old brake fluid out of there. You can get these at your local auto parts store. It's a real simple, straightforward process. Get a close-up of this so you can see the level coming down. Changed out our clutch fluid too, which takes the same fluid. Now this is the 100% synthetic .3, .4 brake fluid. You say, well, what is it, .3 or .4? Well, it actually meets and exceeds the specification of both of them. Take a look here. If you got a wet boiling point of 368, exceeds the minimum standard of 311. So basically, this beats it by about 50 degrees higher boiling point than the .4 specification. It's gonna maximize your braking feel. You're gonna have less sponge in the brake pedal. You're gonna have not only a firmer brake pedal, but you're gonna have a quicker anti-lock brake system reaction time. So let's just say you get a little squiggles. You're out there on the road testing the limits of your vehicle. I know we can all relate, and hopefully you've never spilled the beans before. Help maximize your ABS and traction control systems because there's less compression of the fluid. So I highly recommend changing your brake fluid about every 1 year if you live somewhere where it's extremely hot. If you live somewhere mild with low humidity, you're completely good for 3 years. But just know, the older the fluid gets, the quicker it oxidizes. For every 18 degrees hotter a lubricant runs, it oxidizes at twice the rate. It becomes thicker and thicker, and also it has more moisture. Even though this is sealed, there's still moisture that gets in there through oxidation, and that actually thickens the fluid to the point where it becomes like jelly, and you actually push the brake pedal down, and it just won't come back up. And that's when you know it's really, really bad. And eventually it'll crack the rubbers in the calipers, which we're gonna show you bleeding in a second. So that's our glorious brake fluid going in. Super clear the way you want it. Recommend getting extra brake fluid. If your car you think takes 2 bottles, make sure you get 3 bottles just in case you spill one on the ground. You're not gonna be stuck somewhere without enough brake fluid. And also too, sometimes it just takes a little bit more pumps than you think on certain cars to get the old fluid out. So this being a little teeny weeny car, you're gonna probably be good with only 2 bottles. If you have a bigger truck, you're gonna need probably 3 or 4 bottles. So always go 1 bottle extra out of a reassurance and due diligence. We're gonna overfill her a little bit, so we're gonna add a little bit more, but come close, take a look at our level of our fluid, nice and clear. Overfill her a little bit, and we're gonna show you why, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna go perfect right there. And now we're gonna throw on our cap, but not this plastic. And now we're gonna start pumping out fluid out of the brake lines, which the fluid level is gonna be going down because we're gonna getting all the old expired fluid out of the brake lines. And we're gonna start from the furthest corner from the brake reservoir, which would be our back right-hand corner. Aaron's going deep sea diving, so we took off our wheel to paint a really beautiful, pure picture of what's going on. So we got this little teeny weeny rubber nipple right here, and Aaron's gonna go ahead and yank her off. Go ahead and just pull straight out, good. And now that's what we call our bleeding screw. And it's this little teeny weeny screw right here, and we're gonna start spinning it to open the valve. Bleed all this brake fluid out of this line, and it's gonna go out of the caliper so we have no oxidation. 8mm open-ended wrench on there. And you can use 4-sided, just close her up for now. And you don't have to close her tight. And now I'm gonna get in the driver's seat and go ahead and start pumping. So this is our MP metal protector. What this beautiful lubricant does is it drives out moisture. So if you live somewhere very moist, it gets the moisture out of your locks, your hinges, keeps it out. Also protects and prepares metal for tightening bolts. And also it's a penetrating oil. Say you're trying to crack something loose, this will also help penetrate almost like a PB blaster, but it's very odorless and it's very clear and it doesn't stain metal, which is another nice benefit. So we're gonna go ahead and pepper all this rusty area where the bolts meet. So you can just spray all that. Yep, just hit those threads a little bit. Perfect. And it's got lots of good punching power, and it saturates really well, so that's good. That's gonna run everywhere. And now we're gonna hit our bolt. So back there, we're gonna actually hit that threaded bolt so it opens and closes really easy. And that's it. It saturates everywhere. It's that time to start bleeding. So when he opens the valve, I'm gonna push the brake pedal all the way down, and then he's gonna close it, and then I'm gonna let that pedal back up. We're ready to begin. Are you ready, Aaron?
Ready.
All right, I'm pushing. Go ahead and open that valve.
Okay.
And you'll see that old dark fluid come out. I hit the floor. You can close the valve.
Closed.
You got it closed?
Yep.
All right, I'm letting my foot back up. And now I'm pushing.
Opening.
How's that fluid look?
Dirty.
That's a good thing. We know we're getting the good stuff in there. You can go ahead and close that valve.
Closed.
I let my foot back up. Now I'm pushing. You can open it.
Opening.
And now go ahead and close her up.
Closed. We got Coca-Cola coming out.
That's a good thing. We're getting all that old crusty black stuff out. I'm pushing. Repeat this beautiful process until that fluid runs perfectly clear.
Open.
All right, we got her all the way down. Go ahead and close her up.
Closed.
All right, I'm pushing.
Open.
We're all the way down. Feeling better already. Go ahead and close her.
Closed.
I'm pushing.
Open.
How's she looking now?
It's getting clear.
All right,
but not perfect.
let's do about 5 more. Go ahead and close her up.
Open.
All right, we'll go ahead and close her up.
Closed. It's getting clear, but still a little.
That means we got to keep going.
I'm golden, so I don't know if it's supposed to be just like...
It's always going to be a little bit because the stuff that's in the reservoir is not perfectly clean.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's looking a lot better.
So we'll do 2 more.
Okay.
Go ahead, check our reservoir. So we made sure we got plenty of good fluid in there, and you'll see it came down quite a bit. So now we're going to go ahead and top her off.
Of the line?
Yep.
Okay.
Keep filling.
Yeah, it's probably about that color.
Keep going. Perfect. And boosh.
Pushed.
Oh, that's beautiful. Are you at the floor?
Yep. Well, okay, I'm pushed
Go all the way to the floor.
Yeah. That's it.
Let your foot back up.
Okay, up.
Go ahead and push.
Pushing.
Oh, that's gorgeous fluid. Time to use what we refer to as Niagara Falls in a can. This right here, the brake parts cleaner, we actually made a video on this on the channel. If you look up how this stacks up against the other products, this right here will absolutely just completely blow your mind. So now you're gonna see it in action. He's gonna go ahead and clean up all that area that has all that brake residue. Go ahead and blast her. Look at that punching power. And that's only a half a can. That's not even a full can. And it blasts off all that brake fluid, disintegrates it, melts the film, and that way you don't have any stinky, smelly stuff anywhere. The other great thing is this one doesn't have that bad smell, and it has extremely long reach. So this one shoots about 18 feet, which you'll see in the video. So say you're 6 feet away, you can't get to that area, no big deal. Put this sucker on, you don't even need the straw. You can blast the heck out of it, which we'll show you in a minute. Our old brake fluid going in, so you can see all those little particles. And over time it oxidizes, gets darker and darker. Now we don't have any jelly here, so we know we're still good, but it'll actually oxidize your rubbers. So it's very important to do the brake fluid sooner than you think. We're on to our front. And before we get started, we're gonna nail all the important spots with the MP metal protector. So go ahead and hit the center locking threads all over there. Yep, hit these threads. Perfect. And now we're gonna go ahead and nail all the other threads. Our shock tower thread, right there. Yep, all those on both sides. We're gonna hit our threads around our brake lines. The threads right here. We're gonna hit the threads on the bleeding nipple right there, deep inside. And any other threads are appropriate on your front end. You always want to have a good well-lubed front end. That way, if you ever have to yank anything off, when you come back to do your rotors, like hit these little screws here a little bit, just get in that little corner. Yep. Those will come off so easy, you'll thank yourself later. Save you hours. How do they look?
We're pretty thick here, maybe centimeter, and this one I'm having a little hard time seeing with the light.
And you'll know when your pads are done when the feelers start rubbing. You'll hear this scraping noise, and that means basically the feelers are rubbing, and then it's time for some fresh pads.
Looks good.
Perfect. I wanted to mention, if you want to use a 4-sided box wrench, that'll give you more gripping power. If you have a stubborn, old, rusty thread, you definitely want to get yourself one of these for the initial crack. And then for the fine tuning, you're always okay with a good open-ended wrench. I do not recommend Craftsman product. They're very flexible and they bend. And the snap-on tools don't bend as much. If you want to have a safer process, I highly recommend spending that 36 bucks for the snap-on open-ended wrench set, because it'll save you a lot of time in the long run. So if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. If you want your vehicles to run longer and stay longer, definitely subscribe to the channel.
Ooh.
All right, how's she looking?
Dirty.
Good.
Closing.
Tell me when you got it closed.
Open.
All right, go ahead and close.
Open.
She's starting to clear up a little bit.
A little bit.
We're just gonna continue this process until she's nice and clear. One more pump and we're gold.
Closed.
Last pump. Open her up. Close her up for good, and
Close.
it's time to brake parts cleaner. We're gonna be demonstrating the Niagara Falls in a can. Aaron's about 6 feet away, and he's gonna show you the punching power. Go ahead, Aaron. Woo! Look at that. Look at that. Done. That's it. He brakes parts cleaner from 6 feet away. We're just gonna top off our brake fluid. Go ahead, Aaron. Top her off. That's the end of our 1.5 bottles. Now we're on to our second one. We're just gonna go ahead and start pouring in until she overflows a little bit. Perfect. And now we're on to our last wheel, our front left driver's side. So always start at the longest line, and then you move inward towards the master brake cylinder.
Oh my.
Wow, she is definitely, she's rusty.
We broke. I broke.
What broke on us?
Nipple came off.
2 products that'll keep you out of the dungeons with this. So you saw it break off. Basically, what you'd want to do if you had this car from the beginning, you'd want to protect it with MPHD. This has a very thick, waxy film that stays on the parts, and it doesn't let moisture from the ocean get to your metals. And that's what happened to the front of this car. So the MP metal protector is great to loosen bolts, but this is a hardcore one that's specifically for long-term salt water and all kinds of moisture that hits it. So I highly recommend this if you live on the ocean. So now we're gonna go ahead and just get a fresh caliper and go ahead and change her out. Always good to make sure your little thing is clean, just like that. And make sure your cap's nice and clean, and that way you don't have to worry about nothing. Easy peasy. Time for some finishing touches. Take a look how clear our fluid is. We got our cute little safety screen back in. Now Aaron's gonna go ahead and cap her up. We got the cap nice and clean. And now we call this the finishing touch on the outside. And this is what keeps that plastic reservoir nice and clean. Tell me when we got her nice and threaded on, we're good? Here's our finishing touch. Go ahead and wipe her up, and that's it. She's all nice and clean. It's ready to race. That is a clean reservoir. Aaron's gonna suck out the clutch fluid, and basically all you do is just suck it out of the reservoir, put some fresh stuff in, and just keep doing it until it's nice and clean. And you can do this every year. We're on our final fluid with Aaron and his 2008 Honda Civic. Got the brake fluid done, and we just gotta see what he thinks. See how he likes this little angel. How
Brakes
those
are
brakes?
good.
The brakes are good?
Yeah, help me stop in front of this car that pulled in front of us.
I know. That's
Illegal
why.
U-turn.
That's why you want to have good brakes.
Everything's feeling great. We have 3 adults in the car.
Yep, we brought a big, heavy passenger to make sure the car's running good.
It still has the pet. The brakes feel like they engage sooner as I press on the pedal. It doesn't feel like I'm having to go a little further. Doesn't feel spongy. Idle's excellent. We're at 650 RPM right now. Is that what that is?
Wow. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Vibration is great.
Yeah, there basically is none.
Yeah. That clutch is
Like butter.
oh, yeah. Before it felt like it had like 2 positions of pressure. Now it's just smooth. Feels like air in the transmission
I love it.
rather than molasses. Let's go to 4th.
Wow.
Nice.
Holy cow.
That acceleration.
That thing shifts amazing.
No problems.
So what would you say the overall difference is from beginning? What would you say the percentage difference is?
Oh. 30.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and also,
30%.
yeah, and with the 3 adults in the car, I mean, that's usually where I really feel the drag. It's usually just me in the car. Sometimes I have a lightweight passenger with me. When I load up to the 3.4 mark, that's when this Civic, you know, shows that it's a 1.8, but I didn't feel like that just now.
Wow.
So maybe 35, I don't know.
Wow. That's a big difference.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to quantify that impromptu, but that's first. Shift at 4,400. It's more power. It doesn't feel like we have someone in the back.
Wow.
I mean, seriously, it doesn't feel like we have someone in the back.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I can't wait to drive her. I want to see what she feels like. After all fluids changed, and we're going to be in econo mode right now. So this is what we call saving fuel. There's no burping, no gagging, no spitting, no chopping. Just hard to believe. Amazing how smooth this car runs. We're at about 1200 RPM at 30. I'm expecting this car to get right around 44.2 highway at 65. I think at 57, I think this thing will touch 51.1 at 57 miles an hour with Continental economy tires, 195s. So we'll see if Aaron might try out the new tires, and now we'll give you a little roll on in second gear, just so you can hear what she sounds like. And we'll see what she sounds like. 3, 2, 1, just a little roll down. Amazing, the engine braking. There's less vibration in the drivetrain. The clutch shifts a lot smoother with the engagement of the brake pedal. And also the way the flywheel vibrates with the oil, it also shifts a lot better because it's not spitting or chopping. And we'll show you just a nice smooth little first and second. So we'll do a smooth little first and second, see what she sounds like. Wow. Amazing how smooth this car is. Just hard to believe. So that's the results. I would say this car runs in some ways quite a bit better than brand new. The only vibration I'm getting is the tires are just cracked, so they're oval shaped. So you're gonna lose a lot of efficiency with an oval tire. And then obviously rotors might not be perfect, you know, so you're gonna have some vibration with that. But other than that, I mean, this car runs amazing. If you haven't seen the other videos on the channel, we did all the fluids on Aaron's beautiful 2008 Honda Civic. And these are the same as pretty much every other car. They all almost take the same fluids. Most cars don't take special fluids, so it applies to yours. And I want you to check out everything we did to it. And also, we're gonna mention a little something about keeping your skin nice and smooth. See how smooth my puss is today? See that? Well, Aaron's gonna mention how we got it that way.
That is the step 2 of the tie lift 4-step process. He put on that gentle exfoliating jasmine rice cream and scrub.
Yep.
He did a nice scrub, got dead skin off. You only use it 2 times a week. He's using it a couple times a week, and he's also using it as shaving cream. So he's getting like the double duty. You will get a closer shave if you use that scrub first, because you're getting dead skin out of the way. But this is it's gender neutral. Face and neck, you can do body. I did my hands yesterday. My hands were so dried out from our work 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I was there scrubbing. I got all that off, and then I moisturized and make sure my skin was properly hydrated. So yeah, that tie lift. Cleanse, polish, hydrate, sculpt. Cleanse the skin, polish, scrub the skin, hydrate, moisturize, and you get that gua sha, that sculpting tool. I don't have it in my hand. And you help keep the collagen matrix more elastic. Ancient belief is drain the lymphatic. And you know, just, it's like exercise for the skin.
We're gonna be giving away a kit with the cleanser.
Cleanser and the gua sha.
And the gua sha. And also remember the snap-on giveaway. So leave a comment down below what your best results are with the products so far, what you've liked. If you're new to the channel and you wanna subscribe, definitely do that. If you wanna learn on getting your vehicle to run longer and stay stronger. That's what we do on the channel. So definitely hit that subscribe button. You'll be able to come back and see lots of other beautiful vehicles, share and see through other people's experiences. Because with everyone's vehicle, it's a little bit different, but there's always a lot of results, and we can get your vehicle to run better than brand new with the right fluids. That is easily obtainable, and we've shown that on many vehicles on the channel. Definitely check out everything we did to Aaron's car. And also, if you want to try the products, all you do is click more down below. That'll drop all these little links. You can get the products right there. And then when you use my personal link, I'll always be able to answer all your questions in the future about changing all the fluids on your vehicle. And I also wanted to mention what we love to do on the channel is we give a man a fishing pole and teach him how to fish. So we get the tools in their hands and they learn how to take care of their car. So that way, one day when I'm not here to show how to change fluids, tons of people will know how to take the very best care of their vehicles.
Thank you.
Of course,
Much
Aaron.
appreciated.
You're the best, Aaron. Thank you. Always happy to share my knowledge so you get the very, very, very best results. So definitely check out this video here in the middle. That's on everything we did to Aaron's car. And we'll see you back next time right here on Synthetic Oil Protection. Cheers to keeping your vehicles wet, lubed, and protected.